we're doing it. And like I said, I wouldn't stand here and say, don't worry about it, and then our sewer plant is overflowing, guess who's responsible? I take my job very seriously, and that's one of the things that we are in the planning for the financial. We're in the planning now, thank God for an engineering, and all of this that now we incur, any cost that we incur on that can be repaid out of the monies whenever they come in. So if we do spend engineering services for them to design something that, I believe 10 years ago, they had a second phase already in place. What he's gonna do is gonna go look, is this still adequate, is this still where we need to be? And then that's gonna come in here pretty quick within the next couple of months, we'll bring that to you. And then we are required to have a public hearing to let people know this is what we're looking at, this is what it's gonna cost, for sure. But those things are never available beforehand. We have to come to them to say, this is what we need. And they are very aware that we are in the Eagle Ford and that our growth is accelerated. So that's a good thing for us.
Yes, sir.
Are we going to sell bonds to finance it?
There's going to be several options, Lester, on that end, whether it's if they review on our water and sewer rate study, if they see that there's adequate funding in that, then we just pledge whatever revenues that we get. Unfortunately, one of the things that was brought up by the mayor is that, and a gentleman, Jim, the other Jim that was here, was that we supplement our water and sewer funds. We generate that, we have to supplement because our tax rate is so low. So that's where the transfers come in and for to balance our budget. So if we don't raise our taxes, then USDA says, well, you're gonna have to raise your water or sewer rate studies and pledge that money to pay for it. One, or an additional thing that's happening and that we're fortunate to do is alternative funding. How are we gonna pay for that? Well, guess what? We've got the oil and gas companies that are here and they're generating more water sales for us. We don't wanna sell our fresh water, but in addition, what we've got is a contract pending that we're trying to finalize with a big name oil and gas company. I don't know if I can mention that, but to buy our effluent water. To say, okay, we're gonna buy your effluent water because we need that to water down our roads so it won't be so dusty out in the county for fracking, whatever. So that could generate, several $100,000 for the city. That in turn the citizens won't have to pay a dime because we're gonna use that money and pledge that towards a repayment.
We're not selling any fresh water to anybody?
We are. We do sell fresh water. There was a comments or articles about, they're selling water out there, fire hydrants, all those are metered. So if you see a water truck out there it's because they come, they paid a deposit on their meters, and any water that they utilize generates revenue for the city.
Yeah, we know about that.
Yes, sir.
What's the bond rating for Floresville? Because that will determine the interest.
We are A-, first credit rating ever we got last year, and we're rated an A- by Standard & Poor's. S&P.
Andy, just out of curiosity, since you mentioned the water hydrant, how much have we generated in money from that?
I'd have to look at where we are on that. There's no guesstimates. I don't ever throw any numbers out there because we get caught in a pinch on it. But I can get that for you.
Yes, sir.
On the white waste, how much time are we looking at? We got plan, we gotta get permits, and then we gotta do construction. So how much time frame are we looking at?
About, hopefully, a 12-month period. During that 12-month period, anytime before that, we can receive funding and we can move forward. But you have to also think, we've got all these developments going on. Developments like EGA developments, like anything big that will impact our wastewater or our water, take 12 to 18 months to finish. So that's a good call on your end as far as holding on the other one, special use, because then that gives more opportunity for the businesses, the bigger businesses in that.
But the plan is, I think, construction by 2014, correct me if I'm wrong, Andy?
That's correct.
Yeah, 2014.
About that time, but hopefully we can expedite that if we need to, and then we can defer our payments till the following year or the year after that to be able to put some money in reserve, like you said, specifically for that.
I asked Andy a while ago what type of reception he received when we started talking about it. It was a very negative reception when we started talking about a USDA loan to build a sewer plant. It seems like even if you try to build infrastructure, there's negative comment. We had discussion the other day about McCoy's, all negative comments. So trust me that there's really two things that are happening. What's truly happening here at City Hall, and then the propaganda that you hear.
Can we move on to the next one?
Please.
The next one is, how's it listed on the agenda?
Dave, that's that,
Okay.
landscape
I've
project.
got a couple more copies if anybody needs. And this is just a minor thing, but it's an accomplishment that I believe that will enhance our beauty of our city, which is already got some pretty scenery. TxDOT had a meeting September 24, 2012 on our landscape project that will be funded by the state in the amount of $89,571.10. This is supposed to start, we're going to start October the 8th, but Peanut Festival is here and they don't want to cause any kind of disruption to the flow of traffic, so they're going to wait on that. But this is going to enhance the beauty of the entrance of the Y that we call up on Business Loop and 181 at your place of business. They will do some landscape project there. Another area that they are going to address is, let me see if I can find it real quick. It's going to be in front of the roadside motel area. They're going to do some landscaping there. They're going to do some more additional landscaping to the four corners where our Floresville sign is, and then they're going to do some more landscaping in front of our river park and the entrance of that.
A little bit of history on that, Andy, please.
What is that?
A little bit of history.
A little bit of history. This is about 2 years ago. We were contacted by TxDOT a year and a half or so that they wanted us to take over mowing the medians in most cities that started getting to our size of population, our ability to maintain our own our own area within our city limits. They said that we needed to take over mowing on the median from city limit to city limit because of the state's deficit and lack of funding for that. The mayor went ahead and told them, okay, we're going to take that over if we have to. How long do we have? Said we've got a couple of years till you have to do that, which is 2013, 2014. So what are we going to get in addition, and how are we going to get something out of this? We don't want to do something for free. Our taxpayers shouldn't have to incur that additional cost without gaining anything. So it took a good while and some talks with the head honchos in TxDOT to be able to get this funding of $89,000 on enhancing our entry points into the city. So
Yes, sir.
Where are we at on impact fees?
that's something else that we discussed at the USDA. It's at the USDA loan process that's going to be possibly a requirement that we have to get done. So we've got the wastewater and the water rate study completed. That'll be presented, and then that'll be the next one. So hopefully we can get everything done at the same time with your planning and zoning.
Any other comments or questions before we go into a closed session? Anything? Yes, ma'am.
This doesn't have anything to do with that article that was in the Wilson County News about TxDOT having money available for beautification. I don't know if I read that right or not.
It's along the same lines.
Okay, but they're making it sound like there's now more money available
When was that?
in the Wilson County News on the,
Just recently?
yeah, this week. On the website. On the website, something about TxDOT
It might be for
making
other companies
available
or businesses.
millions of dollars for beautification, something.
We kind of bordered with the state because they want the city to take over the medians, the grass is right there in the middle of the highway.
Uh-huh.
Well, when you reach a certain population, it becomes a city's responsibility to do that.
Okay.
But we negotiate with the state, and it's been about 2 or 3 years. Well, help it. We told them, enhance our city, provide something that we see in other cities, something that's going to welcome the visitors into our town.
But this is something that just came.
Well, it's gonna be
I'll take a
part of
look
it.
at it
It's part of the beautification in the entry points to Floresville.
Okay.
We asked for streetlights, I guess we can give them
Streetlights,
convenience, you know, from
We did.
You know, actually-
We put in a request, thanks to Lester Muchagama and some other citizens about the safety concern at 97 and 181. The traffic light that was funded, that was approved by that was approved by TxDOT. They're waiting for funding to put a traffic light.
and this might be something the next council or the next mayor wants to take on, is that there is funding available for streetlights through companies that are painted for the truck sales or truck permit fees. There is that type of funding available. Just need a strong lobbyist or to ask TxDOT to get that for you.
We could use some nice street signs also
That's also part, we discussed that with
throughout
TxDOT.
the city, because they're not the same.
I think, did we gonna get some?
We will, and that's something that we're working on with Bree, but she is correct, we've got some older signs, we've got some signs that are different colors, and we're trying to, if you've seen the project, has a seal coat just around the downtown area, that we use, down that's just part of maintenance, so we'll be working on all of that.
Any other comments before we go to closed session? Yes, ma'am.
The councilman and all of y'all at miss, I'm sure. Do you get paid even if you miss?
Yes, city charter says that everybody gets paid.
Okay, did Mr. Morales quit?
No,
He didn't quit, he just left.
yes. That's what I understand, yes.
So he'll get paid even though he doesn't show up?
Yes,
Yes.
just like all the other ones. That's right.
What is it, a whole $75?
Oh, yeah, we can take those.
Yeah,
Mary, it's been
hey, that's
there.
one I get for change.
We may have to change it on the charter.
It's
No
zero.
show, no pay.
I think that should be
You won't be
done.
here
I agree.
next following year.
All right, is there a motion to go into closed session?
I make a motion that.
Well, let me read the executive session pursuant to section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code, personnel matters to deliberate the appointment, interim employment, evaluation, reassignment duties, discipline or dismissal of a public officer or city employee, specifically the city manager. Is there a motion to go into closed session? Motion by Flores, is there a
I
second?
make a motion that we table,
Have we table?
this is for evaluation.
You want to table?
Was there a
We
reason?
didn't have a full council.
That's right, 4 or more.
Motion to table? Motion dies for lack of second. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
I move that we go into closed session.
I'll second that.
Motion by Castillo, second by Gomez to go into closed session. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The time is now 3:17. Is that correct?